Good morning. I hope everything's going well with you today. I just realized that I don't have my beverage down here, and that's going to change how things work for me this morning. But that's okay. We're going to start working through the morning ritual for guitar growth, and we're going to start that now. And I'm glad you're here with me, Kevin. I see Kevin just jumping on board. And thank you for being here, Kevin. I've been thinking a lot about the gang lately, and hope we're all kind of doing well and kind of working through our being guitar practitioners, kind of focusing on the important things. All right, let's go ahead and get started. This is the pretty cool guitar. I've got the little Waverly Butterbean tuners on here. Those are pretty cool. Those are pretty nice little tuners. I really enjoy these things. It's the same scale length as my other, my Martin. That's a pretty cool little surprise, isn't it? And then the arm bevel. That's a pretty fun one. I don't play this one very much. I don't want to, I don't want to overdo it. Don't want to enjoy life too much, you know what I mean? Overindulge. It's a little warm down here today, so I may change my wardrobe as we proceed. But that we'll go ahead and get breathing first. We'll get started with some breath and some tuning. And we'll go ahead. We already have the metronome working for us. And good morning, Mike, M Fish. You're trying to stock the freezer. Oh, you've been out there. Yeah, good. Any luck? A lot of us running deer trail right now. Close to in tune. I was almost thinking about just doing a live stream this morning and walking you through a string change on this guitar and just letting a record play in the background and we could talk our way through it. I thought that might be a kind of a super chill thing to do, but it doesn't have anything to do with the guitar warm-up. So, Ixnay on the guitar, restringer A. All right, so let's go ahead and just... Oh boy, this... Oh, you can just keep asking from this thing. It's just a great guitar, just a lot of fun to play. Too much fun to play, put it away and just kind of keep it safe, All right, so here we go. As you know, we're here with the metronome, and the metronome is our bread and butter. This is what makes or breaks us as we start working through our situation here as guitar practitioners. 60 beats per minute, and every day I wake up to 60. And you could wake up to 62 or 60 as well if you'd like. And we're just going to start with the normal sort of 1E and a 2E and or 4 attacks per beat, and keep that. Maybe we'll start with some breathing. And then we'll go ahead and keep those toes tapping and those toes walking so we can get that 60 beats per minute. hour system, right? We want to start feeling this 60. And if you're going, you know, if you're going, pushing and pulling a little bit, as long as you're aware of it, you can correct it. The problem is when I stop being aware of that I'm pushing and pulling on the tempo, that becomes an issue for me. I just don't know, and therefore, how could I possibly correct? So really important to just kind of be mindful of where we are rhythmically at any given moment. So 1 E and a 2, fingers 2 and 3, and we'll go ahead and do that now. Yeah, nice and simple push, not pushing too hard. Good morning, Jill. Good morning. Scene 5, no shots. Yeah, right on, right on. Good to be out there. Good morning, all. Robbie, good morning, Robbie. Mark said he's now and just kind of switched over to rewatching in the evening. So if you guys want to say hi to Mark for the next, I don't know, few weeks or whatever, he's watching, but he's watching on demand. He's watching in the evenings when he gets back home. Reconnecting with my Alvarez. What a cool guitar. Epic Edits. Can you play Perfect by Ed Sheeran? You know what? I can. I think maybe if you ask a few more times, I'll do it. So fingers 1 and 2 on frets 10 and 12, and here we go. All right, let's put a hold on this guy. All right, sorry, dude. Time out. So 1 and 2. We'll go ahead and just kind of keep moving along and start thinking in terms of just getting through the morning ritual. So the warm-up is super important. If you're just stopping by, I was going to start by walking you all through a restringing process and listening to an album in the background and talking our way through a restring and observing what's going on with the album. But then I thought, well, that has nothing to do with the morning ritual for guitar growth. So I'll do that another time. But I do have a restringing episode coming your way. Let's focus on fingers 2 and 4 on 9 and 12. And here we go to D and a 40. And I am going to be, we are going to make available an inner circle sort of where we can expand on what we're doing here. So just keep an eye out for that. That's happening this week. So you might be interested in that, and we'll come back to that a little later. Just get my Firefly has the coverage on it, the guitar acoustics now, they go fast. Double the click tempo to match the picking strokes. That's right. So you know what's really funny, when we start playing with the click going at 120 beats per minute, it completely changes the way our cardio works. Have you guys made it to 120 beats per minute yet? Because practicing at 120 is super awesome. It's just it's like drinking you know, a couple cups, a couple shots of espresso, a good like high test espresso. Yeah, playing at 120 is just a good thing to do. Good thing. Cleans out the you know, the engine a little bit. And fingers 1 and 3, and we're working our way down. We're actually staying pretty close to on target today. Hey, Mark's here. I hope we said hi to you, Mark. Kevin's on it. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Little Elvis. God bless everybody. Amen, brother. Amen. Just kind of being a little sloppy with my picking hand this morning. Just kind of enjoying the moment. Not too overly sensitive about just getting that fret hand through the system, through the situation. Let's go ahead and change over to the other lap here just for a moment. And we'll start with fingers 1 and 4 on 7 and 12. So it's a pretty good leap, and we're starting this nice what is it? The guitar needs a little bit of a setup, but it's you know, consistent with all of my other guitars. So let's go ahead and I can max at 140, but not for long. Wow, 140, darn, man. Right on. Good morning. Koziko. I can't really see it, so I'm probably butchering your name. I apologize. But let's take a look at fingers 1 and 4. And we're using fingers 1 and 4 on 7 and 12, and just kind of getting through the morning ritual for guitar growth. This is something I do every morning here on Jason Carey, at Jason Carey Guitar on YouTube every morning, and it's exclusive to YouTube. I started earlier streaming to other channels like TikTok, and it's not really, it doesn't work the way it's supposed to work there. So this is my posse right here. This is the clan. Merci pour la, yes, bienvenue. That stretch, what are you playing? DMB songs, yeah. Yeah, you got it. Yeah, right, good stuff. What is that? It's that walking up to the E, and then we got to go up to that 3 in the bass, right? So we're going back to fingers 2 and 3 and 4, and we're on 10, 11, and 12, and we're going to start right here. Oh, hey, you are talking DMB, the old Dave Matthews Band, the old not whiny enough singing. That's right. I'll get to work on that. Lately I've been feeling low. Yeah, did you see the There's a really cool video where he is doing sort of like with the contemporary dancers. I'm gonna lose the name of the video because I'm doing otherwise encumbered somewhere else, but it will come back to me, and maybe it won't, but that's okay. Welcome to the morning ritual for guitar growth. I'm Jason, your host, and if you stick around, we get to learn guitar. You know, we get to grow as guitar players together. Yes, we do. It's very simple, very cool thing to do. And the world needs more of us at the moment, and we are here to provide the guitar practitioners en force, right, en masse. No, it's a good thing to do. It's always been a good thing to do. You know, from the times of antiquity, fingers 1 and 2 and 3 on 10, 11, and 12. Let's go ahead and get that going. Yeah, just simple stuff, you know. Not comedic. Good morning. Good morning. Good to have you here with us. I'm just suturing my way through the string set right at the moment. I think I'm going to put a little bit heavier gauge string on this guitar. This guitar really loves to just kind of sing right out. This thing is just a monster. It's just a cannon, you know what I mean? Excuse-moi, s'il vous plaît. Yeah, we're kind of on a mission this morning, just kind of working through the old warm-up. This is my honest to goodness warm-up. It's actually what I would do every day. I don't know if I'd spend all of this time every day really doing this. So, you know, as we come to 2026, this is something I'm doing for the entire year of 2025. So every weekday morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Time, and then, you know, it's free for the entire year of 2025, and I'd like to keep it free. You know, I'd really like to keep it free, you know. I don't know how you all feel about that, but we'll see what happens. Fingers 1 and 2 and 4 on frets 9 and 10 and 12, so let's do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, you know what to do, Ian. There it is. And we'll go ahead and let those overtones ring where they want to. We'll let this open strings kind of enjoy this morning. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you. So we're getting there. And we don't do this very often, but let's go ahead and palm mute everything. Super short tones. Totally under control, no overtones ringing at all. Let's go ahead and take a look at fingers 1 and 3 and 4. Same thing, 9, 11, and 12. And of course, you can kind of mix them up if you want. You know, you can do 3, 4, 1. We can do all of that stuff if you like, you know. Also start looking at 16th note triplets or 6 attacks per beat. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Let's go ahead and change laps here. The most important thing that I like to gain from this morning ritual is continuity of tone and musicality. Don't forget that strong back. And tuck that back in and get that core solid. You know, strengthen that core. Good, all good stuff. It's good for the goose. All right, let's go ahead and see how many minor 7 forms we can play right here in that 5th position area. Let's do one of these, maybe the 9 in the bass, the minor 9 in the bass. That's really kind of some cool stuff. You know, the 9 there too. Maybe just the minor 7 with a flat 7 in the bass. Yeah, there's some good stuff happening on the guitar. All right, Greg, what's going on? Greg, good morning. Good morning. So welcome to the morning ritual for guitar growth. I'm Jason, and I'm just doing this wild and crazy thing where we show up every day, every weekday morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern time to just play the guitar together, you know. And so we went through all the 2 finger groups. Now we went through those two. We went through these 2, and then we went through the 3 finger groups. We went through those 3, and then we're going through the 4 finger group now. So you're just in time to really just start stretching it out. So let's go ahead and add fingers 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 on fingers 9, 10, 11, and 12. And let's just go through it, 4 attacks per beat. We've got Mr. Metronome out here giving us the old 60 beats per minute. And the capo is kind of hanging out down here, getting ready to talk a little bit about the G7th capo that they just sent me from England, and just beautiful, beautiful capo. The Performance 3, it's an 18 karat gold capo, and I never thought really I would be excited about capos, but I'm excited about capos now, bro. I'm not supposed to say bro on this channel because it's not really consistent with my, who really speaking to. Do you know what I mean? So I'll try to refrain from using the word bro. I think this doesn't really resonate, does it? In a G chord, Greg, awesome, in a G chord, E, G, A does the A, make it a G, B chord. In A, G. I'll have to look at that. I don't think I'm reading that correctly. Greg, I'll come right back to that, Kevin. Good question. Oh, I see what you're saying. A G6 chord, a G6-9, right? If there's a G, an A, a B, a D, and an E, that's the G6-9. G major triad with an added 6-9. Yeah, good. You're on the right track. That's right. That's correct. I find myself playing in the middle of the night with some kind of determination to be committed to hours of practice that never. I think I feel the same way. Like I couldn't get to the, I hit the rack relatively early last night, but I sometimes can't shut off the mind. I think a lot about all of the guitar that I could be playing. I have a friend, Michael Thaberge. He's a super like technical guitarist. And he falls asleep with his guitar in his hands, you know what I mean? So let's go ahead and do the same 1, 2, 3, 4, and I just want to make it happen. So that's what this is all about. I'm here every weekday morning, and I thought, you know what, if I don't schedule myself time to be with the guitar, I will live my entire life and not be with the guitar. You know, and this is a balancing act because I want to be with all of the people I love and my dogs, you know. Gotta admit, I love my dogs more than most people. Gotta admit it, you know, the dogs are just dogs. That's why they're dogs. But, you know, it's really important for me personally to spend the time with the guitar. And then why that is, I don't know. You know, I think I have a calling. I was called to do this somehow for some reason. I'm not sure, you know, but I feel compelled. It's like putting a puzzle together. You must feel the same way. You must feel compelled to do this. And hopefully you are doing this so that you can write songs and write music and share your music with the world. Because that's really what this is supposed to be about. You know, it's not about, we shoot for perfection, we aim for the golden arches, but we seldom reach those as artists. So we do what we do, and we share that graciously with our friends and family and the world at large. So I think the practice is it's like showing up in a t-shirt with your Marlboros, you know, rolled up in the shirt sleeve versus showing up in a tuxedo when it comes to musical communication, you know. And if that's what we're doing is we're playing in the Ramones or we're playing some punk, you know, if you don't like what we're doing, then, you know, it doesn't matter. But if we're trying to elevate our musical conversation, our musical capabilities, our capacity, you know, warming up and practicing certainly does help sort of, you know, inform our playtime, right? Our warm-up informs our practice time, which informs our playtime. And so there's a chain of events here in my little imagination. There's a warm-up, and then there's a practice, and then there's some more warm-up, and then there's some more practice, and then there's playtime where we execute all of the things that we've done through warming and practicing, and we basically forget about the practice. We just play is complete and pure freedom. That's what we're searching for. That's what we're doing, is we're paving our roads to perfect freedom that we in turn will share with our friends and family, and maybe, if we're lucky enough, the world at large, right? All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the kickstand. Here's a kickstand. Did you know there's a handmade guitar by someone who kind of is a loyal morning ritualist here in this live chat? She's a guitar luthier. She built a guitar. She named a recent guitar she built after this exercise. This is called kickstand. So she named her guitar, the recent guitar. You can look at it on my community posts page. Her name is Jill. She's a guitar builder, Bourgeois. And so I like to call this, I kind of was fooling around one day, and we're just kicking that same 1, 2, 3, 4 exercise. And then what we're doing is we're just basically using 1, 2, 3, 4. We did the stretch 4, but now we're doing the stretch 1, and we're kicking it back. So it's kind of like that kickstand holding up the old BMX bike, right? You know, the old thing that squeaked and came down. So fingers 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and we've got that kickstand working and working its magic. Hey, Robbie, let me show you something in a minute. I'll share something with you. Thank you. I wish I could say I built this one. I did not build this one, but this is built by a builder who works closely with the world master luthier Dana Bourgeois. I think Jill might be maybe distantly related to Mr. Bourgeois. But in any case, if you see what Jill's got going on with the images of her guitar, you can tell that maybe there might be some talent that leaches through that family line, you know. Anyway, so she's a builder. I guess she's here right now. Just said hello. Can you play the world's smallest violin? Hey, that's good. I like that a lot. We do that one in the family a lot. When I like to complain. I don't know if you learned that about me, but I complain about everything. Not really, but it is. I'm just mostly grateful for everything on a good day. And we do like to joke with each other. We do like to pass the sarcasm plate around a little bit. So I do like that. I appreciate that. What is your name? Cortez. Cortez, thank you for bringing your sense of humor to the live chat. It's appreciated. Great. How long does it take you to build an instrument? Are you also a luthier? Distant relative, possibly. I have not met him yet. But it's a beautiful thing too. It's a beautiful craft. I myself have a few guitars going, but I don't have anything that I've completed. I think I've done a bunch of repairs and I've done a bunch of those kinds of things. You know, replaced tops, you know, on old Martin ukuleles that are smashed, and done a lot of that kind of thing. I have 4 guitars going right now that I thought maybe I would finish one day when my kids went to college. That day has come and gone, and life just grabs us by the bullhorns, and we do prioritize. But I'd imagine, you know, we can hear from Jill speaking about that. It's a good thing to encourage others to do the manual and the pedal, you know, the manual thing, because it is rewarding, isn't it, Jill? Oh, you're going to be here for a second, Jill? I've got to grab a book. I want to read a quote for you. I've got to read this quote for you, and I wonder if you have this book or not. It's going to require me to get up and move away from the seat for a minute. And I think I can see the book right here on the shelf. I know exactly where it is, so it won't take me long. But I wanted to give you this quote because it is a good one. Hey, Stalefish, good morning. I'm not a luthier, I'm actually Catholic. Maybe that's why I can't complete a guitar. No, man, I'll tell you what. Let me keep this in my hand. I don't set it down because it is fairly expensive to replace. But you see that little sound hole there? That's pretty fun. You see this little arm pocket here? That's a nice little situation. that little round bit right there is pretty fun. And the Waverly Butterbeans, I gotta tell you, I would just sit here all day and tune the guitar if I had to. Let me be right with you though. Give me a second. Just one, maybe a few seconds. Oh, gotta open the shelf. Let me crawl back into my seat. All right, I'm back, and all right, ole. Do you have this book, Jill? Look at that top. Look at that bear claw. Is that what you call that? Bear claw? What a beautiful piece of wood right there. Anyway, it's called Guitar Making, Tradition, and Technology. Do you have this book? It depends on how fussy you are. I'll be there. All right, so guitar make, this is a pretty cool masthead right there. So let's take a look at, and I guess I laminated the book. It probably didn't come laminated. I think I laminated it so it would stay around for a while. There was a quote in here that I really wanted to share with you, Jill, while you're here. And I know everyone's just hanging out listening. Okay. Viva fui in Silvis, sum dura ocisa, sicuri dum vixi tacui mortua dolcecano. Mortua dolcecano. And I was alive in the forest. I was cut by the cruel axe. In life, I was silent. In death, I sweetly sing. Crazy stuff, huh? Inscription on the face frets of an Elizabethan lute. I was alive in the forest. I was cut by the cruel axe. In life, I was silent, and in death, I sweetly sing. Man, great book, great reference book. So I don't know, you probably have it. I found it to be a complete self-study guide to get my way through. You have that book, of course you have it. It's everything you need to know about guitar lutherie, isn't it? And then you go stand next to a master who's been doing it for a lifetime, and then you're like, oh man. Yeah, you can drink it all in like a sponge, you know what I mean? I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to start working on some really cool stuff here. But before we do that, let's go ahead and continue along with our pentatonic palettes, our pentatonic system. And if you would like to have the free binder of this pentatonic system, you can email me today, now, quick, while it's fresh in your mind. You can email me, grow@JasonCareyGuitar, and say, hey, I would really love to have this PDF. And then what you do is you download it for free. And when you download it, you'll also get a free binder. These are 10, like 6, 8, 10-page binders. They're almost full-blown courses, you know what I mean? They're free. So you could also just download the PDF. It's the Morning Ritual for Guitar Growth PDF binder. So we cover all of the exercises that we do in that binder. And it's for free. And then you can do these things on your own. And you could develop your own guitar practice and acquire your own students and start teaching your own friends and family how to play the guitar. And then, it's free. It's free for you to do. So if you want to earn, I don't know what the going rate is, but I know what my rate is, and I know. I guess if you do it for the money, it's probably not consistent with a real meaningful experience, because many of the real artists I know are sort of like struggling a little bit. And then instruments, for some reason, artists, we think that we have to struggle in order for it to be sort of real. You know, I don't know, are you one of those kinds of people, like, you know, maybe I'll purposefully keep my life just a little bit on the edge, just so I don't forget where the creativity comes from, where that, you know, just so I don't lose that appreciation for, I don't want to get too soft, you know what I mean? So just put myself in those situations, you know what I mean? Just to why would somebody do that? These pentatonic systems feel pretty good. I'm going to walk us through some other arpeggio systems, and these are super easy. Super easy. Even if you haven't done these yet, you're going to learn these. These are super easy, and we're using major, minor, and diminished. And they're just learn one shape. That's it. One shape for each pattern, and then you're good to go. We'll start on the key of F or like G or something, so we can make sure that we can use all of the range of the guitar neck that we have access to. All right, I have that book. Got it. I gave an electric do-it-yourself kit to a guitar player friend last year. They finish it? Hey dude, Gokul Nath. Struggle is reality. I try not to be defined by... Struggle is a reality. Yeah, I think that observance of the thing that made us, that makes us, continues to make us, the grinding stone, the whetstone. I think those things, that friction, that is what hones us. It is what sharpens us. It is. I agree. Not that that means anything. This isn't the morning ritual for self-affirmation, you know what I mean? But it does help to just kind of feel like we're on the right track. We must be on the right track. You know, we gotta be on the right track. I had this guy in England talk to me the other day. He's like, I'm like, dude, Tommy, I can't believe I get so excited about little pieces of equipment still, like guitar stuff, like guitar gear. I can't believe I still get so excited about this stuff in my, you know, at this stage of my life. And he emailed me back and he's like, yeah, it's proof. I get excited every morning I come to work, and he's like, it's proof that we're on the right path in our lives. If we can still get really excited, even though we've been playing the guitar for a little bit of time now, you know, for a hot minute. And it's exciting to know that's still, that we can still be engaged and go to new places with the instrument. And that will be endless. That's endless. You know what I mean? If you get bored, get up, go for a walk for a mile, and come back and you have new ideas. Do you know what I mean? It's really that simple. Yeah. So let's go ahead and take a look at shape number 2. Right? So it's really great songs everywhere you turn. But let's go ahead and take a look at this shape number 3. We're getting through the minor pentatonic pattern here. And we're using 1-3, 1-3, 1-4, 1-3, you know. Like I said, if you want this pattern, if you're in need of this PDF, you can always email me. It's free at grow@jasoncareyguitar.com. on and say, hey, I'd love to have that free PDF. You download it for free, and then it's you can download a whole number of other free guitar PDFs. These are like professionally produced and freely distributed, even though they're, you know, like $5, $6, $7, $8, $9, $10 a piece. And then you can just have them. At least for now, you can have them for free, right? And so I'd recommend just grow at Jason Carey Guitar and say, hey, I love that free PDF. And we'll get back to you, ship you the link to the website, jasoncareyguitar.com. Go ahead and download what you need. Yeah, it's there, it's what you need. All right, fingers 1, 4, 1, 3, 2, 4, and then we're just kind of going back through, you know, each of the 5 shapes of the pentatonic system on the guitar. And I don't want to minimize this process, so what I want to do now is refocus on my posture and my breath. Tooling is the expensive part, that's right. Yeah, Stu Mac. Did you? Yeah, that is Stu Mac. Man, great. I usually like to go. One of my friends who's a kind of a master sharpener, I guess. I'm not very good at sharpening stuff, but he's pretty good at it, and he taught me to go look around at like old tool shops. You know, try to find these tools used. There's a world-class. You probably know about this group, Jill. Lee Nielsen? Is it Lee Nielsen? It's they make these beautiful chisels and beautiful planes, and they are just so well made, and they're tools you'll have for multiple generations, right? These are the things that you care for. How often do you use shapes 4 and 5? You know, that's a good question. I try to use those. Let's talk about that for the last 10 minutes. That's a wonderful place to be. Can you spill the beans on your connection with Luke? Oh, how did you know about that? Just my spiritual connect. Did I say something about that? I'm not really supposed to say stuff about that. 4 and 5. Oh, gotcha. Lee Nielsen, right? You got it. I figured you'd know that, Mr. Fish. Thanks, Jill. Check them out. Spill the beans. I will spill the beans. Anybody else prefer a 3/4 size guitar? I love 3/4 guitars. I have one right over here, and that's a great question. I have a little parlor guitar that just is so fun to play. I watched the Ted Green tutorial, but hadn't heard of him. I'll tell you what, Greg, if you stick it through, keep what you can do, you can help me out. And as we go through this process together, because I'm not completely finished with that series yet, it's ongoing, and there are already like 70 videos. So if you're going to go through that with me, if you can help to keep me sort of like going, just help keep me going in that direction, because I have 2 other projects going slated after that. And if you're here and you don't mind commenting on those videos as you proceed through with us, you're going to love it. You're just going to get so much. Those are some of the best books written for guitar on the planet, right? Ted Green's Chord Chemistry is a really wildly famous book that some of us purchase and we play to page 11 and then we just put it down and never come back to it, because it can get really, really deep really quickly. So, appreciate you being here with us, man. All right, so let's go ahead and shape number 5. is going to be fingers 2 and 4 and 1 and 4. You have mentioned, Luke, we can keep a secret. All right. Boy, I gotta breathe a little bit and just kind of play guitar. What Frank Zappa say, shut up and play your guitar. But it is a beautiful thing, you know. Let me tell you how I became interested in Mr. Brian's music. And it didn't happen overnight. It didn't happen overnight. You know, I had a good old friend, Rick, who was a wonderful, great friend, and a great neighbor. Give you the shirt off his back, you know. Wonderful friend, and he would bring in like Luke Bryan songs, one after the next for like a decade. We've just learned Luke Bryan and a few other country tunes, but he was just so bitten by the Luke Bryan bug. And then one day, like when it, you know how bluegrass bit me, right? It was just one day I was listening to The Fields That Turned Brown, and that was like Garcia Grisman or the Stanley Brothers or something, and then it just hit me coming through the Canadian Rockies, right? And third day, the sun rising behind the Rockies, and that song was playing, and it just like hit me, like how could I have missed this repertoire that's so valuable, that has this human message? How could I have missed all of this body of work for my whole life up until that point? And that's sort of what happened to me with Mr. Brian. And it was hunting, fishing, loving every day. So you could go back. It's tough for me to recommend it, but you could go back and look at the old video when I was just sort of getting going. And this was when Ricky was coming in for guitar sessions with me, and this was a couple of years into it, I think. And I decided to do that for him. So you could go back and look at that video, and it's an interesting presentation, you know. I don't know, I think you'll like it. But if you do go check it out, let me know what you think. Drop us a comment over there, we appreciate it. And actually, I used this guitar, I think, in that tutorial. I don't play this guitar on the channel very much because it's because I want it to just kind of stick around. And it's not one of those things I really want to abuse. But it is one of those things that needs to be played. And I don't have a name for this guitar. Maybe I'll call it Ricky. I've never been into naming my guitars. Maybe it's called Ricky. So let's go ahead and start like we're Carlos Santana. I had a friend of mine when I was younger. I said, hey, do you use? He was a mentor, an early mentor, like early guitar lesson kind of mentor. Super detail oriented, just super knew everything, you know, everything you'd ever wanted to know about the guitar. And so we were talking about, hey, how do you use pentatonics that there's shapes that you don't really know? You know, I know this one, right? We all know that 1 4 1 3 1 3 1 3 1 4 1 4 pattern, and then, but how do you know how to, how do you involve all of the other ones? Well, Mark Knopfler says, I just write songs with the new shapes, so that way it forces me to learn the shape. I have to learn the new shape because I write a song with it. So he would do that with chords, new chords that he would learn and new shapes. But I think this thing right here is just, what would Santana do if, and I'm just playing a really simple G minor 7, which is fret 3, skip over the A string, choking out. I'm doing some bad technique here. Choke out that A, and then triple stop the D, G, and B strings. And then Michael, very cool. A Luke song. Hit ya. Same thing happened with me. Oh yeah, Jerry Garcia. Yeah, the Dead. Crazy how I missed all that. I know what you mean, man. Just pulled in the office. Have a great day, all. God bless you too. God bless you too, my friend. Play some Summer of '69. Wow. Yeah. I got my first real six string. Got my first real six string. Played at the 5 and down. Played it to my fingers bled. I think it's going to be a copyright strike if it's not already. It definitely will be if I go any further. So let's go back to this. Let's just jump back to this G minor 7 and G minor 6, right? So it's the G, and then it's basically, the G minor 7 and then the C9, but I'm just not moving my C chord. I'm not moving up. I'm not changing root notes, bass notes. I'm keeping that finger right here. So it's basically this G minor 7 and then the C9 chord with the G in the bass. So it's essentially the same chord, only one note moves. That fret 3 on the D, fret 2 on the D string. And this is real quick, Kevin, because this is just 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, and 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, and 2, T, and 4, and 1, 2. And we have 2 bars on each. Song this is, like Oye Como Va or something. You can do whatever rhythmic pattern you want. But if you want the backing tracks to it also, just hit me with Grow at Jason Carey Guitar and say, hey, I want some backing tracks where I can practice all of these minor pentatonic, these pentatonic patterns. And then so what we're going to do is we're going to just start with one idea. Doesn't have to be a difficult idea, it could be something even more simple. Into position 2. You can't just start way up here because you got to tell a story, and you got to, as we ascend in pitch, this is perfect if we start down here in A or G, because we can ascend through the guitar neck, through all 5 of the pentatonic shapes, and then get up to a higher place. That elevates, that ascension in pitch will elevate the tension, the inherent tension in our solo. So it's a good place to start. It's a great place to start down low, right? I think knowing how to get through and slide from one position to the next is all part of that PDF binder that I shared with you earlier on. Are you still here? Can you play Perfect by Ed Sheeran? Don't blah blah. I can't believe you're still here. All right, so you came back. I can't believe it. All right, so if you're still here, I know Kevin's going to say, reminds me of Cowgirl and Sand. Oh, very cool. Please play Primus. My name is Mud. Okay. I love the Primus. Wow, you really got me pegged. Cool phrasing, ideas, and Oye Como Va sounding good, man. Faraz, thank you very much. When I play guitar, my fingers are really hurt. I'm beginning to play guitar. What should I do? All right, good question. So let's take a look at what Ed Sheeran does. I think, which song are you talking about? Perfect? I think this is where I typically leave. I drop off at 8:30, but I'm going to stay a little bit longer for you only because you stuck it out with us. So let's go ahead and we'll turn this off now. Kevin, see you later. Thank you for being here, man. Have a super day, Kevin. And can you guys thank Kevin for being here and moderating and having that blue wrench? All right. All right, so what's going on here is we're on capo number 1. And so if you have a capo, then great. If you don't have a capo, get yourself a capo. I just happen to have this one sitting right here. And then there's a C chord. And then there's a D chord. And I'm just kind of paraphrasing, you know, make sure that you get that capo like lined up with your fret. You don't want it to be like twisted like this. You want it to be sort of like nice and right up close to your fret, and then you kind of tighten it down. But it's basically the G chord, right? Let me go ahead and get back to the live stream here, and I'm keeping you over. Wayne LaPan, good morning, Wayne. Cheers, Kevin. Thanks you, and have a great weekend. That's all right. Skip to live. Let's go ahead and skip back to live. And sorry to, you know, I think what we're doing is just G5, something like that, and then E minor 7, and then there's a sort of a C. And these are great chords to know because, and then if your fingers are hurting and you're a beginner, this is a good place for you to be, because all of the exercises that we do in this morning ritual for guitar growth are designed specifically to help us to become stronger guitar players, guitarists, and help our fingers to become strong, build calluses, do all of the things that we need to do, get those things out of the way so that we can play literally anything we want to play when we want to play it. So what I'm trying to do, what I'd like to do for myself, is I like to give myself all of the tools that I might need to play the most difficult things that I can conceive of. And then when I play something like this, I'm not sure if this is exactly it, but I'll give it another listen. If you come back tomorrow, we'll talk more about it. But this is basically the gist of the song. I don't think it's harmful to the strings, but if you tune it a lot, you know, gotta keep the guitar in check, gotta keep the guitar tuned. But you know, the rubber pieces on the capo are replaceable. You can, you know, do all of that. You can care for all of those things. And it's a 1, 6, 4 chord, and then 5 chords. You know, it's that kind of pattern, and it's a very standard chord progression. So I'll go ahead and give it a listen. I've done some other Ed Sheeran stuff on this channel, so if you're here and you haven't yet gone to see what I have hundreds of videos, hundreds, like probably 1,000, hundreds of videos on the channel. You can find some Ed Sheeran if you type in Ed Sheeran. And I think it's a front porch session, so you'll be able to see a little bit different environment too. If you do go check it out, Epic Edits, I appreciate you being here and hanging out and reapproaching this. I appreciate you being here. This is a testament to your to something, you know, to something, to your stick-to-itiveness. And hopefully we'll see you again. I hope to see you again tomorrow. I'm here every weekday morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Time, and I'm doing this for free for the entire year of 2025. I don't typically, you know, I can demand that I do other things, blah, 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 but it's really important for me. This is a big year for me personally, so I like to be here, and I'm going to start announcing that I'm doing an inner circle. We're doing an inner circle, so if you really want to kind of get in the door, it's a limited availability, but it's something that we're going to start doing in the next few days, weeks. So keep an eye out for that inner circle, the morning ritual for guitar growth, inner circle, and then maybe we'll see you there too. But anyway, tomorrow I'll be back at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Time, and I hope to see you again. And if I don't, thanks for being here today. And I hope you have a wonderful day picking your guitar. Epic Edits. I love the name of your YouTube handle. That's really cool too. You passed the test. I have a lo-fi channel. Lo-fi channel. Right on. Can you make music for me? I need original, really good tracks. All right. I think we can. Epic Edits. I'll check you out later today when we get a chance to settle down, and thanks for being here. All right, everybody. Happy picking!